Bill Snopper here. The winner has left me with tons of inventory that's gotta go. It's time for the spring family sale down at Franklin Sussex Auto Mall.
With savings up to $11,000 off MSRP on all new Jeeps, Chryslers, Dodges, and Rams. How does $169 a month sound? That's all it takes to lease a new Jeep Renegade Latitude or get an incredible deal on a new Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab. Your choice, just $169 a month.
Need credit? We'll help get you approved. Hurry to Franklin Sussex Auto Mall, Route 23 in Sussex.
Spring clearance event.
All right, welcome back to the Franklin Sussex Auto Mall, Franklin Sussex Hyundai Sports Beat. Dan Cleary is doing his baseball preview. Sponsored by Mark's Auto Maintenance up there in Vernon Township. Brakes, oil changes, the whole works at Mark's. And Jerry Cantalupo of Northwest Mutual. Jerry's from New Jersey, moved to Texas, and now has a Texas accent. Hello, Jerry. It's Jerry Cantalupo. He's the only man in New Jersey, anyway, with a Texas accent. Maybe not, but anyway.
It sounds like you were the second guy with a Texas accent.
Jerry Cantalupo. That's what I do all day in the office. I walk around going, Jerry Cantalupo.
And it's quite a treat, folks. You should be in the office. It's a laugh riot. We'll get back to some baseball mugs. Yeah, what do you say? Okay. All right, we left off with Hackettstown in the Freedom Division. We'll mention Vernon joining. Scott Berge in his 9th year. Last year, Vernon 9-13. But 1-70 in the American Division. That was the story for Vernon and a lot of sports, not just baseball. When they left the division play against the Pope Johns, the Spartas, the Mount Olives, the Morris Hills, they didn't do very well. So last year they had 1 win in the division. They were able to upset Sparta later in the year, which won the division. So Vernon's in a good spot in the Freedom. They lost a couple of good players to graduation. Chris Capiano, a pitcher, Connor Fitzsimmons, who was a longtime catcher. But that's some good kids coming back. Jake Rodriguez coming off a very good baseball season. He'll be at second base. He battled some injuries last year, but he hit 341 when he was there. Brandon Lavarini's back. He hit over 300. Michael Supa, he hit over 300. Jeff Cox, a big guy. He played in first base and pitcher. Max Rodriguez was a nice surprise last year, playing right field. He hit a 275, and when he was pitching, he was 2-1 with a 1.88 ERA. Justin Lavarini, Brandon's younger brother, played a lot as a youngster. He's back. Ethan Metz will be back as well. And Nick Raffone, who was out last year with an injury, he's back. So, you know, when I talk about them leaving the division, last year they were able to beat Wallkill Valley twice. They beat Apacon. They beat Sparta. So when they're playing those teams in the division, their crossovers will be against mostly Colonial Division teams. Look for Vernon to have a much better record, get back in states. And it seems every year Scott Berge is able to get this team to make a run in the HWS. So don't count out the Vikings there. I think this should be a pretty good year for the Viking baseball team. Just like the basketball team turned things around, picked up 17 wins. I think Vernon definitely, barring a lot of injuries, could probably challenge for that. Lenape Valley, Bob Klink. He's been there 9 years, and Bob has his team always ready at the end of the year. And we always say in the office, come state tournament time, you know Bob Klink's going to pull off an upset down in Bergen County. Seems like he does it every year. Last year, 9-15 in the conference. He's got some really good kids back, and I think they might be a favorite to win this division possibly. I know Newton's in it, but they're going to be right there. Never count out the Patriots. Matt Helfrich, he's a pitcher and infielder, hit almost 400 last year. Kyle Pecars hit 304, also pitchers for them. Dan Titus hit 377. Anthony Esposito, terrific shortstop, hit 308. And Pecars was 6-4 with a 1.87 ERA. Brandon Brady's back. Jordan Costanzo hit 300. Jared Miller. So I think this Lenape Valley team is one of the favorites in this division, and Bob Klink said so when he sent his information in, and he thinks they can go deep in the states as well in HWS because they have some really good pitching. So keep an eye on the Patriots. High Point, Ryan Ellis in his 3rd year. In 3 years, 2 years at the helm of High Point, 34-14. Not a bad start for the former star catcher and for Mickey Thomas back in the day. Mickey's now a volunteer assistant. Last year, 18-6. They placed 2nd in the division to Jefferson. There was that monumental game where Jefferson beat High Point 2-1 in 15 innings to win the division. And High Point lost some good kids to graduation, including Ben Costello, who was their top pitcher, Billy Kerwin, and also Ben Armstrong. But they got some real good kids back. Sam Armstrong, he had a great year last year, and he gave John Wilson from North Hunterdon, who won the HWS, his toughest matchup during the tournament. It was, I believe, a 2-1 game. So look for him to lead the pitching staff. Brian Franco can hit the ball. And High Point can always hit. Even you go all the way back, always can hit. And, you know, no difference now. Matt Duma's back. Derek Sarapicello is back. Matt Sunda, Luke Steinman, Joey Grigiano, who is the HWS MVP for bowling. The guy can do it with a bowling ball and a baseball. Talented kid. Matt Carter's back. So, and Coach Ellis said he's got a couple of freshmen that might crack the lineup. High Point has a very good feeder program with a lot of those teams playing travel ball. And I think High Point right now with Lenape Valley, and then we'll talk about Newton, are the favorites in this division. They got off to a 9-2 start last year. They also owned a win over Newton. So watch out for this High Point team. The other thing is they're going to be on the road for the foreseeable future because the field up there just doesn't drain that well. So they're going to have to get it done on the road, as is Vernon, to keep in this race. And then finally, Newton in the Freedom Division. John Solito, he's been there 12 years. What a job John has done. Newton baseball, always a great tradition with Bob Malillo, and then a little bit up and down, you know, struggled a little bit. And John came in, he was a former terrific player at Morristown. He straightened out the ship. Last year, 15-8, won the Colonial Division, made it to the HWS final, losing a tough game to North Hunterdon and Wilson pitching for them. But they were able to knock off Pope John during the tournament, beat them 3-0 in the tourney. Scott Price had a great day that day. He had a 4-hitter, and he threw the shutout. He's going to lead this team. He's a senior, Scott Price, at 342, terrific pitcher. Also back, Chase Kramer, just a junior, can do it all, terrific defensive outfielder, sets the table up top. Alex Blanar, another terrific pitcher, 4-2, 2.63 ERA last year. Luke Young, first baseman, hits 409. He also pitches, terrific three-sport athlete. Billy Carson's back, 368. I mean, these numbers, and John's one of those guys that really doesn't inflate numbers. These are legit numbers, folks. Mike Luzzi's back, Aldo Valarosi, Jake Terabacca, and Nikas Sebastiano coming back. So they play a very good schedule and outside the league. The one big key loss from last year's, or two of them, was Cole Van Luvender and Bob Lair. But this Newton team, a lot of other coaches are pointing to them. They might be the best team in the area this year, so we'll keep an eye on that. And I wouldn't be surprised with those names. Those guys are terrific. We'll move to the American Division. Pope John last year, 15-15, but, and I'll break out the cliche, it's the best 15-15 team in the state. Their non-league schedule was brutal. Bergen Catholic, Don Bosco, St. Joe's, Del Barton. They played everyone. Vinny Bello, well-known throughout the States. In fact, Vinny's on the executive board that brought up the legislation for the pitch count. And he's got almost everyone back. They lost to Del Barton 4-3 in the States. Vinny's in his 18th year, got his 300th career win last year. But listen to these guys and where they're going. Sean Roberts is back. He's going to Marist, Division I. Sean Miller, Seton Hall. Trevor Backman, Marist. Hunter Silvernail, the terrific catcher, is going to Lafayette. Justin Provost, terrific player. He's going to play at Rowan, who has a great program, Division III. Ryan Casey's going to Susquehanna. George Summers is going to Roger Williams. And Davian Sanchez is going to Hood College. Almost the entire starting lineup for the Pope John team is going to play in the next level next year. They took their lumps the last 2 years, being a 500 team. Vinny playing it down, as he always does, but this might be the best team in the area on paper.
Not that good, Joe.
You're right, he doesn't want to, he doesn't pump it up. He goes, put it all in Solito.
Yeah, not that good, Joe.
So look for them to do well. Again, they're going to play Jefferson, Don Bosco, West Morris, Mendham. They'll play that tough schedule. If the pitching holds up, I like Pope John in the American Division. But you got to beat the division champ to become the champ, and that's what Sparta was last year. Sam Sublosion, he got his 300th win last year. And just talk about how tough his schedule was. They finished 13-10-1, but won their division with a 5-2-1 record. I mean, if Sam goes out and plays everyone as well, plays a lot of Morris County teams. They'll play Mount Olive. They're playing them early next week. He'll play Morristown. All these good teams. Last year they lost to Montville in the States, but you know, they have lost some good kids to graduation. Connor Coyle, terrific pitcher. Jared DiBlasio, excuse me, and Cameron Stanislaw graduated. But they'll look to Cole Patton, terrific third baseman and pitcher, to lead the way. He's going to Seton Hall. He had a 2.72 ERA last year. Matt Guerrero's back. Connor Dick, Jake Zarillo, who had a terrific football season. Eric Castorina, Mike Voctaro, and Ron Jarvis coming back. And you know, they were able to beat Newton last year. They beat Pope John twice to win the division. So they should be very solid again. And just on a local note, college-wise, Thomas Reddy's still playing up at Yale. And then there's a contingent down at Ramapo. Austin Unglob, Kevin Folds, and Matt Shemis. all playing for the Roadrunners down there at Ramapo. So we'll wrap up with our final team that's new to the American Division. They were on the Freedom last year, had one of their best seasons in 20 years. Jason Kalish, who was our Coach of the Year last year, got his 100th career win. Jefferson went 24-7, won the Freedom Division only with the one loss in there. They won the North 1 Group 2 title. They graduated 15 seniors as a big group that they lost, including Vince Montone, our Player of the Year, who's playing in Misericordia, also Donovan Stolworth, Josh Sadowski, and Brian Turton. But they have a good core back of leaders, led by Brandon Magnotta, who's just a tremendous outfielder. Magnotta, like Chase Kramer, you use the old Willie Mays thing, their gloves are where triples go to die. That's how much room they cover in both gaps. Tremendous speed, also can hit. Sean Perry, the big guy, he supplies the power in the middle of the lineup, hit 300 last year. He'll also pitch. And Stephen Bremen, coming off a monster basketball season, he's going to take it into baseball. He was 5-0 last year, 144 ERA. He's a big kid, 6'5". He can bring the heat. Also look for Justin Randizzo, Nick Montone, and Kyle Haller to do well. Jefferson, again, like High Point, has a terrific feeder program, and look for them, their young kids, to step in and do a good job. But the American Division, kind of wide open because Mount Olive, Jim McDermott, who's been there forever, does a great job with that program, and Morris Hills is always tough. So right now, if I had to pick a favorite, Vinny will be mad, I'll say it is Pope John, but don't count out Jefferson and the other teams. It should be a great competitive year, and hopefully this year we'll get someone into the HWS final again, Muggs, and maybe get another section champ and have some good baseball.
All right, what'd you pick me for, Dan? Jesus.
Yeah, he won't be happy.
We have Pope John. We're lucky if we win 3 games this year, Dan. All right, folks, here at the world famous, Cabello buy a car here. He makes enough money, right?
I'm sure he does. He's the vice principal of the middle school now.
Gee, he's got a big promotion and everything. All right, folks, I know Father McHugh buys his cars here. Bill tells me he bought. Anyway, we're here at the world famous Auto Mall, the only choice you need commercial. Oh, we're sponsored by Mark's Auto Maintenance and local Northwest Mutual agent, Jerry Cantalupo. Let's take a commercial time.
Bill Snopper here. The winter has left me with tons of inventory that's gotta go. It's time for the Spring Family Sale down at Franklin Sussex Auto Mall.
With savings up to $11,000 off MSRP on all new Jeeps, Chryslers, Dodges, and Rams. How does $169 a month sound? That's all it takes to lease a new Jeep Renegade Latitude or get an incredible deal on a new Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab. Your choice, just $169 a month.
Need credit? We'll help get you approved. Hurry to Franklin Sussex Auto Mall, Route 23 in Sussex.
Spring clearance event.